rồi.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And now we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be?
Do it anyway.
You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
One second. Well, hello everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you all are well. Today is October 29th, 2024. Something is stuck. Hold on 1 second. Uh, 1 second. Lord, are you hiding, Justin? Um, Jesus, take the wheel. That's all I need. Jesus, take the wheel. Hold on. All right, I'm just going to keep my camera off. Guys, Satin has obviously not wanted me to do this live today. Because I think everything has tried to stop it. Just about everything from technology to time to glitches. There we are. I sent you that is about my great grandson baby will be going to court. Okay, JJ Johnson, I have not seen that. Make sure, can you resend it? Or did you just now send it? Did you just now send it? It is what it is. Happy birthday, darling. Oh, happy birthday, my love. Happy birthday. Okay. Good to see you all. Thank you so much. Let's get, I don't know if I should restart this without the big intro, or should I just edit it later? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. So we have been following Maya Millete's case. I learned about this case from the interview room with Chris McDonough. And it's a case, in my opinion, of DV. By the way, last night, sidebar, speaking of DV, last night, ICU and I were kind of following this story, not this story that we're talking about, but of this woman who's been trying to get out, and she went live last night, and it was crazy, 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 crazy. Good to see you all, my dears. I want to thank MJ for gifting a pearl necklace. Really do appreciate you, MJ. Thank you so much, my friend. If you received that MJ, uh, that pearl necklace from MJ, make sure you please give our MJ a big, big thank you. Very, very sweet of you, MJ. Thank you so much for telling the devil to go stick it. It's been a morning. Justin, that's the first thing I thought about this morning. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Me too. Shining star, there you are. Welcome. Really do appreciate you. Was this the woman who was in the chat the other day? No, not her. Not her. And she has yet to reach out. She said she was going to, but she hasn't yet. Um, at least that I'm aware of. I'm gonna check my email a little deeper to make sure she hasn't, but I don't think she has it all. It is what it is. Birthday. Make sure y'all give her a big, big happy birthday. Let me tell you a little bit about Maya. This story has to do with DV. It has to do with the alpha male husband who thinks that he is, the beginning, the end, the alpha, the omega. And Maya was done with it. They had been together for years, for years. And Maya is married to a man named Larry Millete. In this story, we're going to hear about GV if you're sensitive to that. We're also going to hear about casting spells. About casting spells. Yes, you heard that right. Look at beautiful Maya jumping in the middle of the street. Maya, there's a website called Help Find Maya, MAYA.com. And this is these are Maya's sisters. They have continually non-stop searched.
It's a jarring moment.
And all of this. So let me tell you a little bit about Maya. Actually, let me use a little bit about this. So Maya Millete, she is a Filipino American who was a civilian employee of the United States Navy. She last worked as a contract specialist for the Naval Information Welfare Center. Okay. Husband is locked up. We'll get to all that stuff. Maya was born in the Philippines, but she was raised in Honolulu, Hawaii. She graduated from Admiral Arthur W. Radford High School, later attending and graduating the University of Hawaii. Maya met Larry Millete in high school after he moved to Hawaii from San Diego with his family following a juvenile GANG related assault arrest in 1997. They later married and he served in the United States Navy for 5 years. They moved to San Diego. They had 3 children. Uh, in later 2020, their relationship deteriorated, and Larry allegedly became increasingly controlling and paranoid as he discovered Maya was having an affair. By December of 2020, Maya had resolved to divorce Larry and was taking the steps to formalize their separation. A friend of Maya alleged that Larry had physically abused her, and she feared for her safety and for her children's safety. Another friend had offered a condo safe house for her because of her fears and her safety for her and her children. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the disappearance of Maya, how it all led up. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. So on January 7th, 2021, Maya was last seen at her family's house around 5 in the evening. She had called a divorce attorney earlier that day. The following day, Larry Millete was observed on video backing their Lexus GX 460 into a position where the rear of the vehicle could not be seen on camera. Larry claimed that he drove the Lexus to uh, Solna Beach, hope I pronounced that right, with one of the children that day. The vehicle was later impounded by the Chula Vista Police Department. Maya's relatives came to check on her on January 8th, but were told by Larry that she had remained locked in her room by herself since the previous day. When they returned the following morning and insisted Larry open the door, they found the room empty and there was no sign of her. Maya's sister, how do I pronounce her name? Let me see how I pronounce it. Mari Krista, am I saying that right, Marlena? Then filed a missing persons report with the Chula Vista Police Department. On January 9th, Larry spoke to a neighbor saying that he took the Lexus to a desert park and asked the neighbor to detail the vehicle. Yes, go ahead and wipe down that vehicle very conveniently, huh? Now, Maya Millete is presumed deceased. On January 13th, 2021, volunteers searched Mount San Mingo Park for Maya. On January 23rd, 2021, investigators conducted a search warrant for Milliete's husband, Larry's home, searching for clues or any evidence that would point to the cause of the disappearance or possible whereabouts. In January, Maya's relatives hired a private investigator to assist in finding her. On February 5th, 2021, the Chula Vista Police Department and uh, Milliete's family held a briefing to encourage the public to look for her. Skeletal remains were found in Orange County that were thought to be Milliete's remains, but were proven false. And the remains were said to be that of a male. Later on, remains were proven to be animal bones. 8 loud bangs could be heard on audio recordings on January 7th, 2021 at approximately 8:30 p.m. in the vicinity of Maya and Larry's Chula Vista residence. The audio recording was released to law enforcement and the public, corresponds to video surveillance footage that has not released to the public due to privacy concerns brought on by the neighbor who provided the video footage rather, and the audio recording. At around 10 p.m., audio was recorded on the neighbor's camera of Maya and Larry's children playing outside on a cold night in the backyard. When you hear 8 bangs and there are, you know, children playing outside in the cold of night, not a good thing. I want to show you Maya actually has a YouTube channel. And she loved to sing. She loved to sing. And this one's called Crazy Rich Asian Cover Attempt Can't Help Falling. This is Maya.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea,
Very much so.
darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. So take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you.
this is on her website. Not her website, but this is on her YouTube page. Um, what's interesting is, um, not interesting. What's extremely sad to me is that these kids don't have their mama. They don't have their mama. She was a very hard working woman. And you see, she's got a security system even above here. Whenever it was the person from within, the one that was supposed to protect her and their family and his family. And he did the opposite. Okay, I was getting ready to drop that, Marlena. Thank you for dropping that. Um, I need to pull up something here, so just give me a second. I'm going to play this real quick.
I hear the clock, 6 a.m. I feel so far from where I've been. I got my eggs, got my pancakes too. I got my maple syrup, everything but you. I break the yolk to make a smiley face. I kinda like it in my brand new place, but the spots above the room leave my keys in the door. I never put towels on the floor anymore, 'cause the dreams last so long, even after you're gone. I know you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. I called my mama, she was out for a walk. Consoled a cup of coffee, but I didn't want to talk. So picked up a paper, it was more than news. My heart's been broken, for people being used. Put on my coat in the pouring rain. I saw a movie, it just wasn't the same. 'Cause it was happy, I was sad, and it made me miss you. Oh, so bad, 'cause dreams last so long, even after you're gone. I know you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. I go by my business and I'm doing fine. Besides, what would I say if I hit you on the line? Same old story, not much to say. Hearts are broken every day. I brush my teeth and put the cap back on. I know you hate it, and I leave the light on. I pick a book up and turn the sheets down, and then I take a deep breath and a good look around. Put on my PJs and hop into bed. I'm half alive, but I feel mostly dead. And I try to tell myself it'll all be alright. I shouldn't think anymore tonight, 'cause dreams last so long, even after you're gone. I know you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you.
Bless her heart. Um, she reminds me. They remind me of each other. Actually, someone said it just a moment ago of the lady that was married, the guy that was married to um the crazy pastor, in my opinion. What was his name? Help me out here.
Are the people who are closest to the missing person or the victim. That's the first place you look. You look at the people who are closest and then you move your way out. But sometimes that's where you end up with the people.
Even their names are kind of similar. Micah and Maya. And they both sang and they both look a lot alike and they both have, in my opinion, crazy ass husbands. Same build and all of that.
Who are closest, or the person who is closest to the missing mom. Here's Maya's story. Larry and Maya Millete met as teenagers. They first dated and fell in love in high school, and when they were just 18 years old, they married in 1999. It took a while, but they finally started raising a family with 2 girls and a little boy. They were living in a beautiful home in Chula Vista, California, but after more than 20 years together, they began to have marital trouble. Maya was not happy and wanted to leave Larry, but before she could file any paperwork, Maya disappeared on January 7th, 2021. She left no note, no clues. This raised a lot of suspicion. Why would a mother of 3 young children just leave? Maya's husband became the focus of investigators. Investigators didn't buy his alibi, and finally, after 21 months, Larry was charged with Maya's murder. This despite the huge fact that Maya's body has never been found. What happened?
To me, very similar as a Suzanne Morphew as well. I am hoping that before Larry's trial goes through that she's found. Her family has looked every weekend up until every single weekend since she's been missing.
Happened to Maya and what was going on inside their home and in her relationship with Larry.
Look at the spells. The book of spells. Yes. Yes.
We'll search for answers as we investigate the disappearance of Maya Millete. Such a crucial part of this investigation is understanding what's going on. What's going on in this relationship between Maya and Larry? And what is Larry doing about it? During the course of the preliminary hearing in this case, we heard some testimony that really extremely unusual, kind of shocking, to be honest with you, about what Larry was doing. Take a listen to this testimony and think about what this husband is doing in reference to his wife.
There was email communication on Mr. Milliete's phone to individuals whom he identified themselves as spellcasters. Is there a spell you can cast to incapacitate or make May not want to keep leaving me and my kids behind? Can you make her sick so she has to depend on us for care?
Yes. This, I never even knew something like this existed, but you can pay someone to do a spell on you for whatever reason. And this is what he did. And this is what he wrote to the spellcaster. Good afternoon, Lilith. Is there a spell that you can cast to incapacitate or make May not want to keep leaving me or my kids behind? Can you make her sick so she has to depend on us for care? I'm just at my wits and trying to appease her and make sure our family stays whole. She left again today and scheduled Jeep runs, gatherings, and trips, all while this COVID is unaliving people. She's taking unnecessary risk. Please let me know. Also, please boost the dominating and all caps obey me spell, please. Sigh. She just don't listen. Respectfully. That's respect.
I'm just at my wit's end trying to appease her. Good afternoon, Lilith. You know my situation and the target, Maya Millete, born 1 May 1981. Please humble her down. She has become really selfish and narcissistic. Make her real.
Multiple different spells that he tried to keep
sick and keep her sick until she realizes that it is us, her family, and myself are the only ones that will be by bedside on her deathbed, not her fake friends on Facebook and other social media that she eyes more important than us. Please banish everyone else from her life with the exception of us four. Thank you, Lilith. Again, please keep the curse on her until she gives us more importance and not until she realizes that we are the only ones that are important. Her life, love us unconditionally, and keep her home instead of constantly leaving us behind. This is from Mr. Millete to Pagan 54 on December 31st, 2020 at 6:16 p.m. Hi, just FYI, we're in the desert, dirt biking and off reading for 4 days. Can you hex to have her hurt enough that she will have to depend on me and need my help? She's only nice to me when she needs me or sick. Thanks again. Maybe an accident or a broken bone.
He's literally contacting spellcasters, plural, trying to get them to put a spell on Maya. So that brings us to our first question. What does spellcasting tell us about Larry? I mean, the man is literally putting spells or trying to get spells put on his wife, Maya. Let's bring in our guest to help us through all this. Joining me, Court TV producer Cody Thomas, and also with us, psychotherapist, host of Talking Live and the Bite Size podcast, Dr. Robbie Ludwig. Great to have you both here. Cody, I want to start with you because you're out in Chula Vista, out in Southern California, speaking with Maya's family, her sister and her sister's husband. What did they say about this spell casting?
Well, Vinny, of course, they were just as shocked as any family member would be learning of someone in their family trying to use spells and black magic to keep someone in their life. But they both agreed, Mary Chris, that's Maya's sister, and her husband, Richard, they both agreed that these were the acts of a desperate man. Take a listen.
I was shocked, to be honest.
Now, this is Mary Chris and her husband. They have the children now. Maya comes from a very big family. She has lots of siblings. But Mary Chris and her husband has kind of been the head of, the searches every weekend and the face for advocacy for Maya.
I was completely, it took me out of Like, just, I couldn't believe it. It's something that wasn't even imaginable that somebody could do something like that, especially Larry, because he seemed pretty normal. Mm-hmm. Honestly, he seemed like a normal dude. Mm-hmm. So I was shocked to learn that he was using spellcasters and black.
Yes, Maya's family loved Larry. I mean, remember, Maya and Larry had been together since high school.
Black magic, and he was looking up these, like, I don't even know where you would find somebody like that, but he found them, I guess. And
I think there's that point where enough is enough.
Right.
So for my sister, I think that was her.
I realized that he was desperate. He was desperate to save his marriage, to the point where it was getting dangerous. And it got dangerous. And I just, like my wife mentioned, Maya kept a lot to herself. She did not want her family to get involved. I remember saying, I told her in the last camping trip, I said, just be careful. And she said, no, I got Larry. He's not going to hurt me.
And Vinny, you heard there, Richard said that he believed Larry was extremely desperate, and most of us know that desperation can lead to dangerous activity.
Oh, absolutely. Dr. Robbie Ludwig, this is the first time I've ever come across this in all my years at Court TV, that you've got there have been problems between spouses, but here, one spouse trying to get professional spellcasters to put the spell on Maya to bring her harm, but just enough harm so she won't leave him. What does that tell us about Larry?
Yeah, well, I think what the family said is right. This was a man who was desperate. He loved his wife, and he recognized that he was losing her. And the only way in his mind that he could win her back and win her love and respect was to put a spell on her, to have magic somehow recreate his life scenario. And I don't know if there's a cultural component. There are some people that really believe in spells and magic. Usually when, someone is vulnerable to this, spellcasters will say, we only do positive spells, not negative, but they do prey on vulnerable people. So he must have been searching how to win back a lost love. And this kept popping up, and he felt that this was his best hope, cast a spell and get her to fall in love with him again. And we know that's not the way it works.
Yeah. Dr. Robbie, I want to show you something else, some of his alleged Google searches that he made that seem to be somewhat...
Listen to these Google searches. It amazes me that there's no way in hell I would want someone, even if a person could it's artificial. That's not love. Listen to these searches.
Related to this issue, things like, does subliminal messaging give you headaches? Silent subliminal booster. Subliminal wife training. He's also looking to buy some extra Bluetooth speakers to put around the house. My wife doesn't want me to touch her. And then he's talking about, it looks like he's talking about rupees, Rupanol. What does this tell you about Larry Milliete's state of mind?
Well, I wonder if, his grasp on reality was getting lost somehow. If he really, truly believed that what he was searching would truly help him regain a loving relationship with his wife. I mean, most people would rely on the people in their lives or get support or be redirected to counseling. But it sounds like he was a man who really relied on himself, who perhaps had a lot of pride and didn't want to share the challenges that were going on in his life. And perhaps his wife was his only friend. So what did he turn to? Dr. Google, to see if they had the answer to his very problematic life.
All right, Cody, Dr. Robbie, you're going to stay with us. When we come back,
I forgot about that, Marlena. He put a recorder under her bed to play subliminal messages to her while she slept. I forgot about that. Oh my God.
He's been trying the pictures from your thing. You guys got really close together on your desk. Always right here, always together, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And then you start feeding stuff.
So that's enough for you to wish death on me all the time?
Was a reporter brutally murdered? The former pop will for murder? The investigation.
All she said actually is just. All she said actually is just, be ready. It's going to be a messy divorce. If something happens to me, that's going to be Larry.
It seems pretty clear that Maya Millete was suspicious that something could potentially happen to her. So much so that it appears that she made a secret recording of Larry and her having a discussion, argument, disagreement. I have that recording for you. This is in October of 2020. Remember, she doesn't go missing until January of 21. Let's watch.
He's been trying to court you the whole time. He's been trying. The pictures from your thing, you guys got really close together on your desk. Always right here, always together, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And then you start feeling stuff.
So that's enough for you to wish death on me all the time?
Oh, that's enough that, that you gradually had an affair since December. And he probably, whenever he got hired or whatever, and you got close to him, oh, he's cute and all that stuff. You're probably the one that hired him. You interviewed him. You interviewed him.
I did not interview.
You know what I mean? To get into your team or whatever.
Really?
Really? I don't know. What you guys were doing, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night all the time, and your projects and your team projects, mentoring and all that stuff.
After all this stuff that you're accusing me of,
mentoring.
And this is exactly why.
This is and then mentoring stuff.
This is you said this wasn't going to happen.
No,
and it still happens.
No, but
and then you bring it up every day.
Your thing is like
every day you do this.
It was never
every day
a thing.
You do this.
You always like, oh, it was the thing, but no, it was gradual. You guys, he was going for you already. He was going for you because he wasn't happy with this thing. He was going for you. You didn't even see it. He was trying to court you the whole time. You didn't even see it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see it coming.
What's your point? I'm asking you why you would say stuff like that and then you go there and then you want to be together.
So it's clear there's problems. Maya Millete seemingly in a relationship with someone at work as well, which brings me to our next question, which is all about this relationship and what went wrong between Maya and Larry. Still with me, Cody Thomas, Court TV producer, and of course, Dr. Robbie Ludwig. Cody, you spoke to Mary, Chris, and Richard, family members, brother-in-law and sister of Maya, about the divorce, because that was a big part of this entire story.
I did, Vinny. And speaking with them, of course, we all could come to the agreement that no marriage is exactly perfect. But Mary Chris said about a year before Maya's disappearance is when things started to get a little bit rocky between Maya and Larry. Take a listen.
Of course, there's no perfect marriage. But in 2020, that's when I think more problems arises in their marriage. And at that time, Larry was calling my mom, my dad actually.
Trish or DJ, I've said the same thing. I mean, the searches that we do here in True Crime. Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
And me, and then my brothers and my sister also, my other sister.
Yes, and that is true. He had an arsenal of legit, like for a small army.
asking for help, hoping, we could help them with their marriage, that he doesn't want a separation from my sister. He want to keep, their marriage. He want to keep their family together. My sister actually.
Yeah, asking her if she could break bones or make her sick.
In June of 2020, she actually left the house. She went to my brother's house and stayed there for, I think, a couple weeks. But I was happy when I learned she went back. She went back home. I was happy because, I thought like everything was okay. They worked out their differences, and that they're still staying in marriage. But unfortunately, it didn't really work out. By the time December, when we got together for New Year, we went out camping, and she basically told us that she's ready for divorce, that she finally made up her mind. She already talked to a couple lawyers, divorce lawyers, and she already picked one, and she did ask for financial help if we could, lend her some money, because she doesn't want Larry to know that she's filing for divorce.
Did you observe anything weird, odd, out of the ordinary about him throughout the years that you have known him?
No, that's his personality. I mean, he's a dedicated father to his kids, and looks like he's a very loving husband at the beginning with my sister. And 2020, I know they were going through marital problems, but we just supported them. My sister doesn't really want us to get involved in their problem. She wants it to resolve among the two of them. So she didn't really share, much of their situation or her problems with their marriage.
And Vinny, of course, neither Mary Chris nor Richard said they'd outwardly observed any red flags about Larry per se, but that is not to say that Maya didn't see a different side of him living in the house with him every single day.
Oh, absolutely. And obviously some tension in there. So my question, Dr. Robbie, is what went wrong here? This is a couple that married at age 18, married for 20 years. After being married for about 10 years, they started a family, 3 children in the household. What happened here?
Well, first of all, getting married at 18 years old, that is very young. And very often people don't know themselves entirely at that point. So clearly they had a history, they fell in love, it might have been a first love, but as people grow up, sometimes they grow apart from one another. Or perhaps Larry showed some issues that, was really undesirable. Maybe he was very possessive. Maybe he started to get paranoid. Some of these things, as she began to get older and see that there were other types of people in the world, might have got her intrigued about other relationships. And, we never know what goes on between two people. And it sounds like she was very private and Larry was very private until he got really desperate and enlisted the help of her family. Maybe she needed more space. We don't know, and we may never entirely know, but it sounds like at one point it was very clear to her she needed to leave the marriage.
So if prosecutors have this right, that Larry is the one responsible for Maya going missing and her death, and you're looking at the situation inside that household, right, where Maya is seeking a divorce and he is seeking spellcasters. He wants to stay with her even though she has had some sort of an affair. How do you go from I want her to she's got to go?
Well, I think that there was a dependence there, right? So Larry was very dependent on his wife in order to feel like he was a successful man, a successful father, a successful husband. And he was desperate to hold on to her and maybe believed in magic and thought that spells would be the only way to gain control of somebody who he was losing control over. And very often in these types of situations, there's such a desperation that either I will control you and you will be mine, or you will be no one's. So the thought of a wife leaving and being able to have another life is just intolerable and unacceptable. And they would rather have their partner dead to control their life than to be alive. And so, clearly that's when somebody reveals a lack of health and emotional well-being. And I think that's what we're seeing here.
And we have about 40 seconds here, Dr. Robbie. How about the children, the 3 children who are getting older, some getting into their teen years? How do they handle all of this?
Well, hopefully they can get support from their mother, sister, and family. It sounds like they're a very cohesive family, and that they get the treatment that they need so they can talk about this.
Back to, for me, what was going on behind closed doors? What happened in that family home? What was going on in her life that potentially ended her life?
That's exactly right, Junipers. I think it goes to the thing, if I can't have you, nobody can have you, and that probably why he ended her allegedly, in my opinion. It goes into obsession, a crime of passion, you can't leave me kind of thing. Thank you, Marlena.
Here's more of Maya's story.
This is crazy.
Larry and Maya Millete were a good-looking young couple.
I mean, good-looking family, hard-working, beautiful kids, beautiful home, beautiful family. But that's not always enough. Sometimes things happen in relationships even after 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and he just was not willing to move on without her.
Couple with a beautiful family, including 3 small children. They had been together since high school, but there was trouble in the relationship, and Maya was looking to get out and end the marriage. But before she could file for divorce, Maya disappeared. Her husband Larry says he believes she just took off, leaving him and the children behind. But prosecutors believe Larry murdered Maya.
This is Larry.
And have charged him while they continue to search for Maya. Early on in the story, it wasn't a murder investigation. It's a search for a missing mother. And her husband, the father of her children, Larry Millete, gave an interview to Scripps News San Diego. It was a pretty lengthy, in-depth interview. Here's a very important part of what he had to say.
He kind of walked me through like the last time he saw her and what was going on.
Thursday night, we got into a kind of an argument, and we've been having
Kind of reminds me of Chris Watts saying we had an emotional conversation.
Thursday night, we got into a kind of an argument, and we've been having problems, for about a year. We've kind of been up and down and stuff like that. But after that, I give her space.
So just tell me, so you got into an argument, and then the last time you saw her was actually in the house?
Yes,
okay.
Thursday.
So she didn't take a vehicle?
No.
No one saw her leave?
No, but on Friday, I could still hear her, but I didn't physically see her when I got home. But that's normal too, because we have lots of bedrooms, it's a 2-story house, and we kind of I give her space. So, but that's why every time someone says Thursday, yes, it's physically, or visually see her, but for me, it's Friday night. I can hear her like wrestling around, making dinner for herself in another bedroom. I'm sleeping with the kids in another bedroom.
Okay.
So upstairs and she's downstairs, kind of deal, kind of like a roommate thing.
Yes, guys. Marlene is right. Chris was an amazing advocate for Maya's family, and if you want to put his playlist out, Marlena.
Kind of like giving each other space. Well, sure. I don't need the space. She always wants the space.
Got it. So it was like Friday, and then you left or went somewhere, and then came back and.
I don't need this space. She's the one that needs the space, and Larry never searched. Imagine that, y'all. Why would anyone search if they know where someone is, or they know that it's pointless to go out there and pretend and waste your calories and your energy and your time? It's like walking out into a forest and going in circles for no reason.
She wasn't there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I left her with my two girls because they do their homeschool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just had my son with me. So when I came back, she was still there on Friday. We can hear her downstairs, after I'm done giving the kids baths and feeding them and everything. And on Saturday morning, when her parents came by, her door was locked. I found the keys to the bedroom, and I opened it, and she was already gone. So maybe she went to a morning sunrise hike.
All right, there's a couple of parts of this that I find interesting. Number one,
why do they always say these women went for a hike or went for a bike ride, went for a walk, went for
there are times in this interview, and you heard part of it there, where he has to put in a little dig on Maya, like a little bit of a criticism of Maya.
Yeah. They can't help the insults. Those digs, those insults, those disparages.
And he's criticizing her. She's his wife, the mother of his children, and she's the one missing. Yet he's still taking the time to kind of give it to her a little bit. And
boy, have we seen that before. That says a lot when someone disparages someone missing, someone sick, someone ill, someone deceased, someone down on their luck.
Interview. That's one part. The other part is his description of what's going on. It really begins on Thursday, goes into Friday, then he mentions Saturday, which brings me to my next question, which is about, that house and what was going on the weekend that Maya went missing. Because the whole thing really starts Thursday, Friday into Saturday. What was going on the weekend that Maya went missing? Because I think trying to get to the bottom of this, you have to figure out what was going on in that household and in their lives at the point and the time that she's reported missing. So joining me, Court TV producer Cody Thomas, who spent a lot of time out there in Chula Vista, and private investigator and founder of Victims News Online, Erica Morse, is with us. Great to see you. All right. So Cody, you had an opportunity to speak with Maya's family because they're a close family, and my understanding is there were plans that weekend. So what was going on? What were they able to tell you about that time frame right around the time when Maya is reported missing?
Well, Vinny, after speaking with Maya's sister, Mary Chris said that they were gearing up for a big birthday celebration for Larry and Maya's daughter. They're going to Big Bear to do snowboarding.
Maya never shows up for this party. Imagine your child having a party. You're hoping that your mom's going to show up. And she never does. Not because she didn't want to, but because the only thing probably short of death that would have stopped Maya from seeing her child or a birthday party, and it was just that. What happened to her?
They love to snowboard, but Mary Chris said they knew something was up when Maya didn't respond to the family's group chat surrounding details around that trip. Take a listen to this.
We're going to be celebrating her daughter's birthday on January 10th. So she planned a Big Bear a celebration. It's a winter.
Oh, Cassie, I'm sorry, I didn't know what you mean. We may get into some of the Delphi case. Princess Gaga, Justin, I sent you a cold case. Okay. We may get back into Nikki McCain as well. We'll see.
It's no a winter like a resort. So we like snowboarding, so that's what she planned to do. We rented a cabin. They actually rented a cabin in Big Bear to celebrate her daughter's birthday. And we do have a group chat, the family group chat. And so my brother, who is a friend with the owner of the cabin, asking, when does she needed the key to get into the cabin. And on that, the Friday, January 7th was the last communication we have with her. And then January 8th, which is a Friday, she never read all the messages on the messenger. So we thought that was odd. She was always on her phone. She's very responsive to the messages or the text messages. So my brother tried calling her on the phone and it goes directly to the voicemail. My brother tried calling the kid's cell phone and it goes directly to the voicemail. So that brought a red flag that something is going on. And then so the following day, which is that Friday, my other brother who lives close by, my brother JR, came by and checked on her in the house. And then they said that she's upstairs, that she haven't came down. She doesn't want to be bothered. So she was there in her room all day that Friday and she didn't want to be bothered. So I guess my brother, out of respect, he left, knowing like she's probably upstairs and, just want to be left alone. And then come Saturday, we still haven't heard from her. And then so I told my dad, go check on her. My dad lives with me in Riverside, which is like an hour and a half away from here. So he came down and checked on her. And he said he doesn't know where she is, or even Larry doesn't even really know where she is, because he said that he probably went out Saturday morning hiking. And so that worried us. And so I told my husband, me and my husband to drive down here. And and we haven't heard anything since then.
And Vinny, you heard Mary Chris talking about Maya not answering the phone. I remember that will kind of corroborate with her phone not reporting to the network after 1:25 a.m. early Saturday morning.
Yes, and all of this is unusual behavior. This does not equal mom running away. Erica Morse, she's a mom. She's got 3 kids. One of the children is having a birthday celebration with the family. There's plans, not just with the immediate family, but with aunts and uncles and a cabin and everything. And then she just goes silent and is going to run away. Makes no sense.
I don't buy it. I've never bought it. Moms just don't do that. And, also she planned this entire thing. She didn't plan this thing and then bail on her child. That's not how moms operate. I've said it all along. Larry is lying. I'm sorry. He's lying and he's not even really good at it, Vinny.
Cody, looking at that house and the other part of his statement where he's talking about their living conditions at the time and how her brother went over and, oh no, she's upstairs in her room. She just want to come down. Like she has a room. Larry's got a room. The kids have a room. It's like they're like college roommates or something. This is a strange way to describe it. Now, you were in the neighborhood, you saw the house. How big is this house? Did it strike you as a house big enough that two people could live in there, sharing 3 kids and not see one another?
Absolutely not. I mean, it was a decent sized house, but it wasn't some sprawling Beverly Hills mansion where you could walk in and not see somebody for 3 or 4 days. So they definitely would have crossed paths, especially with 3 kids, discussing who's going to lock the door at night, who's going to change the diapers on these young children. So it wasn't some sort of giant estate to where you could sort of live separately. You definitely would have crossed paths within that house.
So, Erica,
you can hear people in that house. He's being an idiot. I want to show you. These are the last moments of what we know of Maya. Was last seen alive.
Taking place in a case for a husband accused of killing his wife. And of the evidence is new surveillance video showing the last time that Maya Millete, a Chula Vista mom, was last seen alive. Our Zara Barker has been closely following this case.
On day 7 of this preliminary hearing, some of the most circumstantial evidence that we have seen throughout this entire hearing was played inside of the courtroom. Some of it so powerful and moved many of Maya's family members to tears.
I have no proof of life for May. If she were to leave the house, I spoke to numerous witnesses who had told me that this is not something that she would do. I have no evidence indicating that May was preparing to get away and flee from her family. I do know that Larry and her had an argument that evening of January 7th, is what he told me.
Yep, backed it up just like Chris Watts, just like Barry Morphew, just like a lot of these people.
And he was the last one to see her. So based on that and the facts that we've gathered throughout this investigation, I believe he's responsible for her disappearance.
When you say he's responsible for her disappearance, are you then implying that he committed murder?
Yes.
A surveillance snapshot of Maya Millete driving her Jeep Wrangler
Right here.
shows one of the last times she was seen. A neighbor's security camera captured Maya returning home around 4:45 p.m. on January 7th, 2021. But since her children are in the view, the judge would not allow media to record it. Chula Vista Police Detective Jesse Vicente detailed every moment at the Millete home, all captured on camera. Detective Vicente says around 10 p.m. the night Maya was last seen, you could hear Larry and Maya's kids playing outside. Around 6 a.m. the next morning, detectives say this is Larry Millete getting inside a black Lexus and repositioning it closer to the garage. He walks around the car, comes back from the house about 45 minutes later, and drives off. Several neighbors' security cameras capture the black Lexus returning to their home about 12 hours later at 6:06 p.m. on January 8th. The defense claims Larry was backing up the Lexus to load 2 ice boxes into the car and take his son to the...
How long was he gone? Marlena, can you remember how long he was gone?
Beach.
He told me that he had
For a while.
taken Lazarus to Solana Beach. Later in the interview, he had pointed out Torrey Pines State Beach on the map.
The following day, January 9th, when the family was supposed to be in Big Bear for their daughter's birthday, Larry had an interesting conversation with a neighbor.
He essentially asks
12 hours. 12 hours. He was gone, y'all. She could be anywhere. So I would say she's probably anywhere from 2 to 4 hours away.
his neighbor to detail his car, the Lexus specifically, because it was scratched during a Anza Borrego Jeep trip.
No one.
It was scratched. He had that car cleaned.
One has testified this Lexus has been to Anza Borrego on past trips, so this still brings into the question, why was Larry allegedly at the beach for 12 hours on January 8th when his wife was missing? The prosecution's goal is to just show probable cause that Larry may have committed this crime. The burden of proof, if you will, is much less than you would see in a jury trial. The prosecution says they have 3 more witnesses they plan to call when court resumes on Monday at 9 a.m. In downtown, Zara Barker, Fox 5 News.
At Renovation Realty, we know selling a home that is inherited can.
The Chula Vista neighborhood where a missing mother of 3 lived, captured sounds that appear to be 6 gunshots on the night Maya Millete went missing.
In a new
That's the actual sound you hear right there. Trigger warning.
That appear to be 6 gunshots on the night Maya Millete went missing.
In a News 8 exclusive, our David Gottfredson obtained an audio recording of those disturbing sounds, which has already been turned over to police.
They sound like gunshots, 6 loud bangs in 20 seconds, captured by a surveillance camera on the outside of a house in the neighborhood where Maya Millete lived with her husband and 3 children. At first, a cluster of 5 bangs can be heard, then a dog in the neighborhood starts barking, then there's a 10-second gap and a final bang. The neighbor who gave News 8 the recording did not want the video part of it aired on TV because it identifies their house, but the audio is clear. The neighbor told us it was recorded around 10 p.m. on Thursday, January 7th, the same date Maya Millete went missing, and the same night her husband Larry reportedly had an argument with his wife. That date was also the last time anybody ever heard from the missing 39-year-old.
How is the family doing with all of this speculation?
The speculation is Maya, she go by herself, okay? Just like the first statement, right?
News 8 caught up with Larry Milliete's father, Benito, on Thursday. He was walking to the park with 2 of his grandchildren. We asked him about the ongoing search for Maya.
The family of Maya is looking for a dead body. We're still waiting.
We also asked about the loud bangs we heard on the neighbor's surveillance video.
Did anybody hear any gunshots on that night?
No gunshot, nothing at all.
This is Larry's parents. They blame Maya. No pew-pews, nothing like that. We just heard it. He's lying.
About the loud bangs we heard on the neighbor's surveillance video.
Did anybody hear any gunshots on that night?
I agree.
No gunshot, nothing at all.
So 6 bangs around 10 o'clock that night. Then about 35 minutes later, the neighbor tells us that same camera recorded audio that sounded like children playing in a backyard. And we still don't know the significance of all this to the investigation, but that audio of the children playing, that would have been around 10:30 at night. Steve, back to you.
Well, without question, David, that audio of what appears to be gunshots is chilling. So the big question, what are Chula Vista police saying about this recording? Are they aware of it?
They're aware of it. Chula Vista police have had this recording for the past 3 months, according to the neighbor. And the department has not named any suspects. Larry Millete has not been named a suspect in this case. We reached out to Chula Vista police, told them we had this audio.
Yes,
the captain emailed us back saying they have no comment.
Not only did he do this while the children were home, he put them out back playing in the middle of the night while it was cold. And he took one of his children, allegedly, when he was dumping her.
On evidence in the case.
All right. And Dr. Phil is going to have more on that as well. So thank you, David.
Yes, on a school night. On a school night. Bingo. Bingo. That's right. So Larry Milliete's trial starts in January at this point. Pray to the good Lord in heaven, y'all, that how could you clean up with the pew pew shots without leaving evidence? You certainly we don't know what they found. We have no idea. I don't know what they found. Do you, Marlena? He was gone for hours, 12 hours. She may be in the desert or whatever. But this so far is a no days to clean. This so far is a no body case, but you know what? Family's still looking, and God can unearth anyone he chooses. And let's pray that he does it in this case, just like Suzanne. Yes, there was a very strong odor of bleach. Wasn't the windows open, or might have been that might have been berries. Yes. Bleach the whole house down. He was not supposed to have any pew pews, and he had pew pews and all of that. So it's just been a mess. We're going to continue to follow this case, y'all. And I plan on talking about this hopefully again either this Thursday or upcoming again. Yes, windows were open. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Windows were open. Maya's daughters asked her aunt, please find my mommy. Oh. Do you have Mr. E's email? We need to check on them. Troopers, I have their phone number. I can check on it. What's wrong? Is something wrong? Hey, Sharon. JJ, when did you... Justin, please let me know if this is from... I'm looking at yours right now. What's up with Mr. and Mrs. E? Are they okay?
One of my favorite supplements is quinol.
Oh, we don't care. You know what? I could actually use that QNL today. Let me tell y'all something, guys. Sidebar. I am never, if you ever get a power washer, never buy a gas one. Buy a freaking electric one or battery powered or something. Yesterday, I tried to start my pressure washer 1,000 times, and now I can barely walk from my right arm. I pulled that thing so many times yesterday to try to get it to start. What's up, troopers? Oh, they haven't streamed for 6. They're probably busy, but I'll check on them.
Quinol, the brand I trust.
Let's see what this is.
It's developing story. Meanwhile, the Lexington couple charged with the abuse of a toddler who was found dead on July 6th went before a judge this morning, and detectives gave many more details about the case against them. LEX 18's Michael Burke tells us what police say they've uncovered in tonight's big story at 6.
Yesterday, we heard from the grandmother of Joshua Bowen. Today, it was time to hear some of the evidence in this case. Kyle Gwendon and Brianna Johnson were in Fayette District Court this morning, where a detective with Lexington Police testified that 20-month-old Joshua Bowen was severely malnourished and showing bruising over much of his upper body when first responders found him unresponsive in their Center Parkway home earlier this month. Results of an autopsy are still pending.
I did it.
These injuries that we observed included bruising to both orbital sockets, both cheeks, his forehead, the cluster of bruises on his right temple, circular bruise on his left upper bicep, bruise to his right rib cage, and his right upper arm. The other obvious observations by investigators was that the child appeared severely emaciated.
This morning's hearing was delayed because Gwendon wasn't on the bus from the Fayette County Detention Center early this morning. He eventually made it to the courtroom where the hearing went on about an hour after the suspects were called. Investigators say Gwendon told them he'd occasionally, quote, pop the child in the mouth. The case will now go to the grand jury. During testimony this morning,
that's not a child, that's a baby.
That Joshua was 7 pounds at birth.
Oh my, what the these idiots.
He weighed 15 at the time of his death, and that the average weight, according to the World Health Organization, for a 20-month-old should be around 25 pounds. In Lexington, Michael Burke, LEX 18 News.
During testimony, we also learned there were 2 other adults in the home, one of whom said Kyle Gwendon was, quote, a good stepdad.
Good stepdad, my ass. I'm going to look at this case. Thank you for sending that to me. This is in Kentucky. I tell you, it's been a lot of Kentucky, a lot of Tennessee, and a lot of Idaho and Indiana. It's been a lot of those. It used to be Florida. Everything used to be Florida. I don't know. The world's insane. Guys, I love you all. I appreciate you. I want to give a special thanks to Marlena, our sweet mod, for being consistent with a lot of us creators to do this case. It takes people like you. You guys send me things and that resonate with your heart, and I appreciate that. So if there's a case that resonates with your heart, I can't. That's your grandson? No. Jay. No. Please tell me no. Please tell me that's not your grandson, JJ. JJ, call me in a little bit if you want to. Email me again. You got my phone number. It's not your fault. You don't know. It's not your fault. You do not make the decisions for anyone else. We are all accountable for our own actions and our own decisions. JJ, I remember you saying something a while back. Yeah, JJ, we'll do a live on this in the next day or so. What part are you in? This is what, Lexington? Let's see here. You're not that far from me. We are absolutely here for you. This is a nightmare. Oh my God, JJ. If you want to call me after this ends, you're welcome to call me and talk to me about it. You need to vent or whatever, JJ. Guys, I love you all. I appreciate you. I'll be live at 6:30 this evening, Lord willing. Maybe before. I have to go do some stuff before I go for school pickup. But we will have a live this evening. No, JJ, we'll do a whole live on it if you want me to. That's my number right there. 307-228-4906. You can call or text. All right, guys. I love you all. I appreciate you. Thank you, MJ, for the gift and Shining Star. Really appreciate you so much. God bless. Justice for Maya. Justice for JJ's grandchild.